India is giving away its land to Myanmar? Is it constitutionally allowed? How will the Manipur state take it? And the most important question, why is it being done? Is there a border dispute to resolve, or we are looking at something else? Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh. In today's session, we are going to understand the proposal that is underway for a territorial exchange. So when we are looking at India giving away its land, it is also that India is exchanging it. So we are giving some and taking some. So let us try to understand that what exactly is happening, what is the concern that is being raised in Manipur, and also try to understand it from the perspective of constitutional provisions. Beginning with that, what exactly is the news? So when we are looking at this proposal, so as of now, it has been understood that Ministry of External Affairs is undertaking discussions that how the unresolved border sectors between India and Myanmar can be consolidated in better manner, and in order to do that, there is an option of limited territorial exchange, something that we did with Bangladesh. Can you tell me in the comment section in which year and through which constitutional amendment we did the enclave exchange, territorial exchange with Bangladesh? Now, when we are looking at this situation, as of now, this is a proposal and option that is present. No finalized agreement has been reached between two countries. But when we are looking at this situation, there are certain concerns yet rising up. So let us try to understand that what are these concerns. So basically, only 1.4 square miles, that means approximately 3.4 square kilometers near the border pillars. So from border pillar 68 to 65, this much amount of land has to be exchanged, but that land is coming from the state of Manipur. And that is the concern is Manipur's civil society groups and certain tribal associations are against this proposal. Now we will be digging deeper to understand this better, starting from understanding the India-Myanmar border. So when we are looking at India-Myanmar border, you can clearly see that it is a long border, approximately 1643 kilometers long. When we are looking at it, it borders Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and also Mizoram. We have 4 northeastern states which are being bordered by Myanmar. But when we are looking at the border, the clarity of border comes from demarcation. We asked one question, is it happening because of border dispute? No, it is happening because of border demarcation. Now let us understand this. When we are looking at the demarcated border, amidst 1643 kilometer, only 1472 kilometers are demarcated. That means if this is the line, this has been properly recognized and demarcated, okay, that this is the final border. But a border length of approximately 171 kilometers, that is not demarcated. So this particular option of land exchange, territory exchange, is to facilitate this. And when we are looking at the undemarcated region, the major portion is in Kabaw Valley, that is in Manipur, and in the Lohit sector of Arunachal Pradesh. So we are talking about Manipur and Lohit sector of Arunachal Pradesh. So in this context, the issue is no border dispute. Thankfully, Myanmar and India do not have any major border dispute at all. But this non-demarcation can any time become a dispute in the conditions that we live in. Correct? Apart from that, this undemarcation is not the only reason that India is looking into clarifying not just territorial exchange but proper border territory. For this, we also have to clearly understand that why India wants to do this. So the first thing you have to understand that when we are talking about complete border demarcation, it helps us bring clarity in terms of territorial integrity. That means we will know the exact international border and there will be no ambiguity at all. Right? Now, once this is done, we can easily move to finalize it through fencing. which India has already announced that our entire border will be properly fenced by, and this announcement came in 2024. Now, once the demarcation is there, there is clarity, this can actually be carried out. And through this, we will have enhanced security in front of us. How enhanced security? Once fencing is done, demarcation is done, this will automatically reduce illegal immigration. This will automatically reduce drug trafficking, arms trafficking, smuggling that takes place across. And apart from that, this whole exercise will ease out the administrative work and end administrative confusion. Now you will ask me how this will be possible. Once we have a clear boundary, then the forces, the security forces will know this is our jurisdiction, the other jurisdiction is not ours. That will lead to better border management as well. And when we are looking at all this, let us also look at a very important recent development that has taken place, because India has decided that they will be ending the free movement regime with Myanmar. That means earlier India did allow the eligible border tribes to cross the border, and that happened without visa. So if they are removing this, then they also need to close down the spaces where this can take place illegally. So India has fair amount of reasons, and in this context you also have to understand the geography of this region. This region is not difficult terrain wise, is not only difficult terrain wise, but it is also hilly, forested, and extremely porous border are present. And that is why India plans to conclude not just the demarcation but fencing and ending any administrative confusion, boundary confusion that might exist at all. So in this context, when India is proposing this and the discussion is underway, we also need to understand that how it can be done. Has it been done before? As I mentioned, yes, this is not the first time that India is doing this. India has previously done a territorial exchange, and there are proper constitutional provisions to facilitate that. This happened between India and Bangladesh through a land boundary agreement in 2015 itself, where India transferred 111 enclaves and Bangladesh transferred 51 enclaves. So when you see in this given map, you can clearly see the enclaves which were present in Bangladesh territory and enclaves which were present in Indian territory, and how the transfer was facilitated. Now in this context, what exactly was done apart from this exercise that happened? It also allowed the decade-old border dispute to be finally resolved. It simplified border management when it was getting difficult, because there were certain pockets on this side, certain pockets on the other side. And of course, it facilitated the governance, improved it, and also improved the citizen rights for the affected regions which were present. Now, once we are looking at it, as of now, the proposal between India and Myanmar and India-Bangladesh land boundary agreement, they are not comparable, because this has been executed. 101st Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, when we are looking at this, let us also understand the constitutional provision which exists. So, when we are looking at the constitutional process, it starts with a bilateral agreement between both of these countries. So, when it happened for India and Bangladesh, they had a land boundary agreement, India-Bangladesh land boundary agreement of 2015. First, that is signed. Two of the countries decide, okay, we want to do this. Now, once the agreement is finalized, and if this agreement includes cession of Indian territory, that means transfer of Indian territory, that is when Parliament needs to amend Constitution. Now, when we are looking at this, we also have to understand that Supreme Court has clarified already back in 1960 that when amendment is required. So, when we are looking at that, if in any scenario we are looking at transfer of Indian territory to another territory, Article 3 which is present, that cannot be used. Article 3 only gives a limited provision because it allows alteration of boundaries within India, not exchange of territories outside India. So it has limited capacity. The moment it is about transfer of Indian territory, a proper constitutional amendment has to be made under Article 368, which talks about constitutional amendments. So in this context, this of course applies because we are looking at territorial exchange, and once the constitutional amendment as per Article 368 has been done, which will be only possible when it has been passed by a special majority in both the houses. Can you tell me in the comment section, what do we mean by special majority? And once the presidential assent is given to that parliamentary approval, that is only when the territorial exchange will take place. Now that there is a constitutional proper provision available for it, why are people and organization against this idea? Now we have to understand it from the perspective of people as well, that what are their concerns in this. First of course are the political concerns. People might feel that they will lose their territory, especially people of Manipur. They also feel that the territorial integrity of Manipur will be compromised by the center. Then we also have public opposition. Metis tribe opposition groups, especially COCOMI, they are talking about that how they are not being consulted and no decision can be taken without consulting people of Manipur. Apart from that, we also have to understand the border concerns because border regions are very easily affected by ethnic tensions, insurgencies, illegal trade, refugee movement, and this is where the government needs to balance this announcement whenever they finalize it with the concerns that might emerge. So, the roundup concerns are just this as of now, but because this proposal is not finalized yet, nothing can be said. India has to clearly balance the diplomatic ties but as well as the political sensitivities of their own state. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section if India should do this or not do this. I'll be leaving you here with the easy prelims practice question. Let me know the answer to this in the comment section. I'll be waiting for your answers. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.